Good morning. Thanks for being here. Just to recap the game, obviously very disappointed with the loss, and as I said, post game, I tip my hat to Coach Martin and his staff, players that they'd played a heck of a game for 4 quarters, and come into a hostile environment. Our fans were great, and we just did not execute well enough in all three phases to get it done. It wasn't one glaring thing, kind of a combination of things. We got, I mentioned several of these after the game, but, I think just offensively, I talked to, after the Iowa State game, about 12%. There's 5 categories that we monitor each game, and we were at 0% first time in my time here. And just that game there, with the sacks, penalties, drops, fumbles, interceptions, we were over 20%. You're not going to win a game doing that, so I don't want to just bring those types of things up when they're good. I'm not trying to blame anything. It's just it's a football game, and offense, defense, special teams. There's enough things that went on in the game, and that kind of accumulated that enabled us to get the win. And I can sit here and I'm disappointed with some of the penalties. Offensively, we had 8 penalties in the game, and there were some communication things. It was loud. We're probably trying to do too many things at the line of scrimmage for some of the false starts. But I think some of the holdings that were out of character for us. You're going against a good front seven, and we were behind after the first quarter. We were behind in the down and distance from those penalties and couldn't overcome it. I thought our defense played well enough, with the exception of the big run and then the big pass, to get it done. They're certainly good enough on third down. We want them to make every tackle. They're not going to. We had a couple of missed tackles, but Miami's got a good football team. They got good skilled kids. And their Miami special teams, we knew going in we were going to be challenged. The returners, we tried to, we had some scheme things to get the ball away from the returners. As on film, you could see that they had capabilities. And the special teams was huge in field position. We were almost a 20-yard difference in that, And so when I think there was a question after the game about that. And you get back and look at the data, and that was certainly the case. And when you're playing a good football team, a combination of all those things, Now, that game's been circled for both teams every year. It is, and our guys probably trying to press and to make plays, and not let plays come to them. That's always something that you're worried about as a coach when you play a game that's got a lot of history to it, as that one does. And, where do we go from here? I certainly believe in our leaders of our football team. They're going to continue to be servant leaders, and had a great captain's meeting on Tuesday evening. And we've gotten 2 practices in towards our next opponent, which is Buffalo. On the road, action. We're looking forward to the challenge. They are coming off a road game at Toledo. And just offensively, I think that a quarterback, we played against him last year. He's a dual threat guy, very gritty and tough. He's surrounded by some really good players. The 2 running backs are going to be similar to what Miami had. They're very strong. They're capable of moving the pile, and they can get loose and outrun you. And there's both those guys, and one of them is a returner that we're going to be concerned about. Very big and physical up front. They're all 6'5", over 300. A couple of them are pushing 330. So they've got a physical unit, and they've got some pace to their offense, and receiver wise, forgive me on, in the Toledo game is the fresh in my mind from the game on Tuesday night. And then of course, watching film yesterday and this morning. Versus man coverage, the one young man, I think the Duke transfer, I was able to catch the ball in some tight spaces and And when it's 50-50 balls, he'd come down with the ball in the second half there. So that's kind of their offense. The defensively, I think they've got 7 transfers maybe on the defense. The 52, the Dalek kid has not played. I anticipate him probably getting close to being ready. He hasn't played since early in the year, maybe the Lafayette game. And just by listening to the commentators, they're anticipating him getting back. We'll see, but he's a great player. And I think the Murdoch kid, number 2, the transfer from Bryant, is just as good. And he is really, really talented and flying around. And of course, the safety, Grant, the last name Grant, I believe, he has had a heck of a year. Now, I think he's been player of the week, a couple pick sixes in the same game the other night against Toledo. He had a caused fumble, 2 interceptions, and a block punt. I mean, he is long, 6'4". He's got great range, and is physical. So it'll be a whale of a matchup. And again, with the failure and disappointment comes opportunity to get better. It's my job as the football coach to get our guys to get back up on that horse and enjoy this journey. Yes, we've had to adjust some expectations on the year, absolutely. But I know our guys will do it the right way, and we're looking forward to this next opportunity. With that long opening statement, I will open it up for questions.
Eric Deck with the Athens Messenger. You kind of mentioned it right there, but especially with such an emotional loss, now that you've had a few days to kind of settle in, and you talked about a little bit of leadership, but as a whole, how do you think the locker room has kind of responded to the situation? Yeah,
it's a great question. I've obviously talked to the staff at great lengths, everybody that comes in contact with our players, from Jake Miller and his staff to Will Fife and his staff in the EQ, Matthias in the training room. I meet with Miss Emily, academic, following this press conference. I'm walking out of this room over to see her. And I want feedback from all those people I'd mentioned on just kind of see where we are. The captains, the meeting I had Tuesday evening with the captains went well. And I'm gonna be honest, when you invest as much as they have, we all have, our fans, it hurts. There's hurt there. And I'm not gonna pretend that there wasn't. But hey, we've got to move on, move forward. We're going to do just that.
Ethan Sargent, WAB Public Media Coach. How important is this little mini bye that you've got here, where you do have a few extra days?
Yeah.
Again, processing this loss, and then, as you said, moving forward, attacking this Buffalo game coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm gonna answer it like this. Hey, I'd like to play. I wish we were playing in 5 days. Just get back out there, and go. But really, we're not ready to do that because of we're bruised up. We're through week 10, and it's another physical game. So I think this little extra days that we have going into Buffalo will help us. We're still practicing normal, but we have some guys that got some bumps and bruises. Everybody does this time of year. That's just where it's at. And so really, I think we're going to treat this as a positive. It'll give us the chance to continue to work some things on special teams, on coverage lanes and those types of things. And take a look at some younger guys, as we will on Saturday, when we have practice. Guys are off tomorrow. But I'm going to end it with, it's a positive thing, just from the standpoint of we're 10 weeks in, and we're able to get some guys, get some bumps and bruises freshened up.
Bobby Gorman with the Post. Buffalo had sort of a tough start in the non-conference, but really turned it on in MAC play. What have you seen from them? Maybe it isn't necessarily like a change, but that's kind of led to some of their success more recently.
Yeah, I think that offensively, they are a physical bunch, and they find a way each week to run the football. I've seen the games from early in the year, and they played a difficult schedule, and they had some really close games. The Fordham game, I've been there and done that, right? And the Liberty game, just their schedule. They were in there at halftime with Wisconsin, right? And it was a close ball game into the second half, and then Wisconsin was able to pull away. So I think you got to tip your hat to their staff, because their kids, play extremely hard, and Mac plays their thing, and they're still in the thing, right? I mean, I think when they went out, they're go to Detroit. I think if I got the math right, so we know that, hey, we still have the bullseye on our chest. We got to keep that target moving. Moving target's harder to hit, but we'll get their best effort for sure on Tuesday.
So Buffalo is a bottom 2 team in terms of rush defense, giving up just over 5 yards a carry, especially for how important it's been for you guys to try to figure out the run game. What are you going to try to take advantage of to kind of get it going?
Again, I'm going to, the coach speak, we've got to try to find a way to be balanced on offense. We got to. We can't be all throw. We can't be all run. There's got to be balance. That's the strength of Curtis. That fits his strength. And as I've said before, some of the play action stuff and get behind guys, but we're going to continue to stick with that philosophy. Certainly we got to be better on third down. I can go into a lot of different things, but we've got to continue to take care of the ball. And I think Miami got to us credit for 3 sacks, but there was almost double digit pressures. It didn't get there, but it affected the throw. Curtis missed a couple throws in that game that is due to pressure. He's moving, did a great job of moving. So again, I just think balance, is where we got to be, and that gives us our best chance.
Curtis has seemed to play, at least statistically, better the past couple of weeks. Do you kind of feel like he's sort of stringing together some good performances lately? Again, I'm happy with, his toughness and being able to find ways to move the ball without a consistent running game, and it's difficult to do, and he's obviously he's done a good job of managing that and not trying to press, just like we want our guys to make every tackle, and we know we're going to miss some. We want Curtis to make every throw every time. And it's just not going to happen. So I think he's handled where he's at right now very well, and we're going to continue to help him. I think he's doing a good job of letting guys around him make plays, and not trying to do it all himself. And so I think if he can just be consistent in the areas that I just mentioned, that's going to give us our best chance.
And now that you've had a couple days to sift through the game film on offense from the Miami game. You guys did fantastic in the first quarter, moved the ball really well, got 9 points. Where did you see the adjustments come in for Miami, and then what went wrong for the offense, and in the game film that you were able to see, how, what kind of broke down for your offense? Yeah,
again, I'm going to go with the offensive penalties started to happen, and you're going to play against a very good defense in Miami. They basically return the front sevens the same as last year, and we return all the guys up front, including tight ends, with the exception of Hagan, and we were able to get some vertical destruction on the inside game with those guys last year, and we just couldn't get it done on a consistent basis. The plays, up the middle on 1st and 20, you're forced to do some things play calling wise because of where you are down a distance, and again, uncharacteristic with the 8 penalties on offense, but I go back to guys probably just trying to press and make a play, and and it just started to compound. I'm not taking anything away from Miami and their effort, because they certainly deserve to win the football game. But I just, from the first quarter and then in the last 3, there's a combination of things, and from us getting a stop in the fourth quarter, and then it's 4th down, and we have an untimely penalty, and the young man is, as disciplined as they come. I'm going to say his name because he's a wonderful young man, and And earlier in the game, he thought he was going to get in there and get a block. He's close. He's in there, wants to make a play. I mean, he graduated as an engineer major, did his internship in Chicago over the summer. I mean, just why you coach, you know, and he's a special team. He's on almost all 4 units. He wants to get in there and make a play, and jumped early. Can't do it, you know, and he's trying to get in there and do his job and make a play, and it didn't work out. And so I apologize for, you know, bringing up those types of things, but there's just it all kind of snowballed on us, and that's the result of the game.
And then, Coach, as you look ahead now towards this Buffalo team, you mentioned that they have a good balance. You know, there's good players on both sides of the ball. As you're looking to, attack this team, where are you making your adjustments on both sides, both offensively and defensively, to effectively counter the Bulls?
Yeah, I think, the pace offense and how they sprinkle it in is kind of hard to practice because you're doing it with scout team. So we're doing some things against each other, offense and defense, older guys, to try to prepare our defense for that. And it's really good for our offense to go against the speed of our defense. I think just really defensively, they got to continue to make offenses one-dimensional. We certainly just our offense went through being one-dimensional. And I think if they can do that, they've been really solid on third down. It's going to give us our best chance. We're not a finished product in all 3 phases. I'm not saying that, but the strengths that you pointed out to Buffalo, that's kind of our plan of attack. And it'll come down to, I think, the offenses obviously taking care of the ball, but finding some balance, having some running game, and the offenses that do that are going to have their best chance to be successful.
Coach, I'll ask one.
Yes.
So, trip to Detroit, some things have to fall our way for you guys to make it to Detroit. There's still a 10-win season on the table, potentially. How important is this last stretch of the game to the momentum of the program to potentially string 2 10-win seasons?
Yeah, it's there. And there's plenty out there to play for. There's 3 regular season games left and then a bowl opportunity. I'm going to continue to take it one at a time. Our guys know what I just mentioned. But to your point, I want these guys to. It's a great group, man. The seniors that walked, my heart breaks. I wanted it so bad for those guys, but there's going to be many, many more disappointments in life that we're gonna have, and they're gonna have, and how we react to those, is going to have an outcome on a lot of things. And so I want it to be it's a teachable moment. I want these guys to enjoy this journey. And for the program, I want our guys to continue to play hard because they are. And I want these guys to not press. I want them to make the plays when they're there and enjoy the process. And that's really my goal as a coach.